Here's your Premier League news and transfer window update with me, Harry Scarfe. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well. Please do like and subscribe. If you're new around here, let's go through the headlines first and get into opinions. Mirror Football report that Wayne Rooney is set to become a regular pundit on Match of the Day next season. He's landed an $800,000 two-year contract with the BBC. Time Sport report that Chelsea must raise over £60 million in sale to ensure new signings can be registered in UEFA competitions after breaching rules. Newcastle striker Callum Wilson will leave St James's Park following his contract expiring, bringing to an end his 5-year spell with the club. Sky Sports News reports that Nottingham Forest have appointed former Arsenal technical director Eddie Gaspar as their global head of football, and since it has been announced by both clubs. Brighton striker Mark Mahai is set to join Reading on a season-long loan. Sky Sports News. He spent last season at Portsmouth but was limited to 13 appearances due to injury. Sky Sports News reports that former Wolves boss Gary O'Neill has emerged as a front-runner to replace former Leicester City head coach Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was recently sacked, with the club narrowing down its shortlist for his successor. Sky Sports News understands Gary O'Neill and former Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder are now central to Leicester's plans to take over as head coach. Fabrizio Romano, Anthony Elanga to Newcastle. Here we go, deal in place, club to club with Nottingham Forest for £55 million. Agreement also in place with Players Camp on long-term deal. There you go. Fabrizio Romano reports that Barcelona's plans have not changed. The intention is to try and make a new approach for Liverpool winger Luis Diaz. Diaz himself is very keen on the move. He's the main target for Barcelona as far as wingers are concerned. While Barcelona are aware of difficult negotiations ahead club to club after two approaches have already been rejected by Liverpool, so they're totally aware of that. Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United's absolute focus remains on the Bryan Mbeumo deal, with talks set to continue this week. No agreement with Brentford last week, but Manchester United keep working on it tirelessly, and Bryan himself is also keen to give the priority to move to Manchester United. He's very keen. The deal is on. Fabrizio Romano understands that talks and reports about Gabriel Martinelli, try again, and now Nasser are currently right at the mark. Apologies for that. No talks taking place with Saudi Pro League side, as Al Nassr are now working on different targets at winger position. Palmars have agreed to sign Roman Sosa from Nottingham Forest for a €14 million transfer fee. Formal steps to follow, deal done. And here we go, the words of Fabrizio Romano. Talking of Fabrizio Romano, he reports that Rasmus Højlund doesn't want to leave Manchester United this summer. His desire is to stay at the club. The only possibility for sale is in case United decide to advance in talks and proceed with his exit. Inter are keen for weeks, but the deal is now on standby. Fabrizio Romano reports that Juventus have been approached by Premier League clubs for Douglas Luiz. He's expected to leave the club this summer. No talks or contacts ongoing with Como so far, despite recent reports. Next, David Ornstein. Manchester United end secret talks over record-breaking Amazon series deal for well in excess of £10 million off after months of dialogue. Ruben Amorim imposed Manchester United line on final decisions for football, commercial and timing reasons. Interesting, that's what he reported via The Athletic. Again, David Ornstein via The Athletic. Leeds pushing to sign Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. Third offer of £10 million plus £2 million. Yet to receive reply, but close to limit before Leeds pursue offer targets. Personal terms in place. 27-year-old wants Newcastle to earn rather than go for free next summer, because obviously he's a Geordie's fan, The Athletic. So those are your headlines in the last 24 hours. Ones that I want to focus on. Firstly, I'll choose about Gabriel Martinelli. I think it's I think so maybe surprising that the talks with Saudi Pro League sides, including Al Nassr, are incorrect, but they're looking to bring in Manweka. They signed a lot of attacking players, Arsenal, so it wouldn't surprise me if Gabriel Martinelli did leave the club. With Bryan Mbeumo, it seems very possible, it seems highly likely, should I say, he'll go to Manchester United if Man United are really focused on him and he wants the move. So when the player wants to move to a club, I keep saying it, and a club wants a player, I think you're halfway there already, even if you haven't got personal terms or agreed the fee with the club. Luis Diaz is definitely one to watch. I think Liverpool have to be careful about letting him go. They need to, make sure they've got enough in place. Obviously, signing Fabio works, but they need to make sure. But the one I really want to pick out is Ante Elanga. I mean, I think that's a really smart bit of business for Newcastle. I mean, I know it's £55 million. That's a lot, but he's a good signing. He's probably, if I'm honest with you, a kind of 45 million player, but this isn't a great addition for Newcastle and definitely strengthens their attack, shows they're serious about, getting back into Europe, back into the Champions League. Leicester City manager obviously will be in the Championship. I think Gary O'Neill would be a good appointment. So Chris Wilder. So that's a really interesting one as well. Callum Wilson leaving Newcastle. I think that was kind of expected. Got a lot of injuries in his time. I think he's a good player. Gave him a lot, but I think he's past his best now. Injuries has really let him down. Wayne Rooney, 2-year contract. I mean, BBC, didn't see that come as a pundit. Some people like him, I know, and some people aren't quite as sure, but he's only a pundit. There was reports it'd be his host, but no, that's not the case. But Chelsea must raise over 60 million in sales. That one, in terms of breaching rules from the Times Sport. That's a really interesting report. Maybe a little bit of smoke screen. We know Chelsea to be okay, I think, in the end eventually. But again, one to kind of keep your eye out for. And one that I don't know a lot about, I do hold my hands up, but is with the agreement between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest about former Arsenal technical director Adi Gaspar, who Nottingham Forest have appointed. You'd think that's quite an ambitious appointment. But those are, the headlines in the last 24 hours. Not too much, there's a little bit, to be getting on with. And those are my opinions. So if you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. You can follow me at HarryScarfe22 or across all socials at HarryScarfe22 on the likes of X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, because I provide daily Spurs and Premier League content, also on my own socials, as well as here. I'm a proud regular for Chris Callan, but my YouTube channel is Harry Scarfe, which includes the Scarfe Spurs Talk podcast. So thanks for all your support with that. Thank you for supporting me with the videos on here. It's been really enjoyable. But for now, thank you very much for watching.